Hello guys, it's Katie and welcome back to another video. In today's video I'm going to be ranking my top 10 100% acrylic yarns in order and giving you the price breakdown and why I have ordered them this way. So with that, we're going to go ahead and just get started with number 10 and then go all the way to number 1. So keep in mind, just because it's number 10 does not mean I dislike the yarn. Just the fact that I have the yarn means that I like it, and it was really hard for me to choose an order for all 10 of these. So keep in mind, I do like all of these yarns and I think they are all really great, but I'm going to give you my reasons for the order like I said. So before we get started, I did just want to give y'all a couple little disclaimers. First off, these are just my opinions based on what I personally have local to me. So some things I may like more just because the store is closer to me, or I may think there's not many color options of a certain yarn just because my local store does not have that many color options, all of that stuff. So this list is very biased compared to what I like. So please do not get offended if your favorite yarn is on this list and it's at like number 10 and your worst favorite is at number 1. Okay, if that happens, I apologize, but this is just what I think of these yarns. And I did also want to say I've obviously never tried every single yarn that is 100% acrylic. So these are just my favorite ones out of what I have tried. And also there will be links in the description box for all of these yarns, and I'm going to be linking them in a random order, so don't be trying to go to the description box to figure out what order I have ranked these in. But I will list the color names for each one and the name of the yarn, obviously. I'm just going to put it all in the description box so it's easy for y'all. But with that, let's get straight into my first yarn, number 10. So my number 10 spot goes to the Premier Just yarn, which is the worsted. In each one of these it comes with 131 yards or 120 meters, 3.11 ounces and 60 grams, 100% acrylic, and a medium for weight. So this comes from Dollar Tree. This color is teal. So Dollar Tree recently upped their prices to $1.25 instead of $1. So this skein of yarn right here is $1.25. All the prices I'm giving you are not including tax, because obviously tax is different depending on where you live. So $1.25 for this one. So let me give you some reasons why I like it and why I don't. So first off, I do really like the color options they have in these yarns. I feel like there's more color options than you would think for the Dollar Tree. That does depend on which Dollar Tree you go to though, because some Dollar Trees don't have any yarn at all and some have almost a full aisle of yarn. So it really is just going to depend, and of course what you're going to find depends on what stock they've gotten in recently and all of that as well. So this is my number 10 spot just because, first off, in a lot more of these yarns I'm going to share with you, you get a lot more per skein and a lot more for your money. So is $1.25 cheap? Yes. And the yarn quality is pretty good for what you're getting for $1.25. But a lot of the yarns I'm going to share with you, especially if you catch them on a sale, you're going to get much more yarn than you will in this little tiny skein, because these are much smaller than they look, to be honest with you. For anything of a decent size, you're going to need at least like 3 to 6 of these skeins. They're not as tightly wound as some other skeins, so you're really not getting as much yarn as you would think. And there's really never any sales, so you're always going to pay $1.25 for these. So are they good? Yes, I like using them. There's nothing wrong with using them, but just not my favorite. Alright, number 9, we have the Loops and Threads Impeccable. This one is the Impeccable Speckle, but I'm just calling Loops and Threads Impeccable as my number 9 place. These are $3.99 a piece. and you are getting 160 yards, 3 ounces, or 146 meters, 85 grams. This is a medium weight 4, and again, of course, 100% acrylic. So very similar to this skein of yarn, just a little bit bigger, and even by feeling them you can tell this one is quite a bit lighter than this one is. This skein of yarn is $3.99. The prices that I'm telling you are the cheapest prices that I could find all of these yarns for, by the way, and a lot of them being Amazon for the cheapest price. Actually, you're not getting as much bang for your buck as you're getting with some of the other yarns. Do I think the quality of yarn is better with the loops and threads than the Dollar Tree? Yes. And is there a lot more color options? Yes. But still, $3.99 is a little bit pricey for this, in my opinion, since the skein is pretty small. Next, we have the SmartCraft Value Yarn from Michaels. So these will cost you $3.49 a piece. And as you can tell, this one I've used quite a bit of. But obviously, if the skein was not used, you're going to get 252 yards, 5 ounces, or 231 meters, 141 grams. And again, medium weight 4, 100% acrylic. That's the point of this video, 100% acrylic. So I'm going to just quit saying that. But this is my number 8 spot because there's not near as many color options as some of the ones we're going to talk about in a moment. But I also feel it is a bit pricey, yet again. For $3.49, unless you're going to catch these on a sale, I honestly don't really get them. Because, again, not as many color options, a little bit pricey. I'll get them on like the Black Friday sale. Like last year they did buy 2 get 1 free for Black Friday. I'll do that. If they have a percentage off of all yarns, I'll do that maybe. But the only reason I really get them is if I find a color I really like. And a lot of the colors that they do have are pretty unique. So that's why I would get this over some of the other ones. But other than that, I just prefer a lot of the others. Alright, my number 7 spot is going to be, I love this yarn from Hobby Lobby. These yarns are $4.99. And in general, Hobby Lobby is more pricey. And this is the most expensive one that we have here to talk about, other than the ones that are £1. And that does make them almost triple or quadruple the size of some of the skeins. So you do have to take into consideration the size of the skeins to see if the price is worth it for you. And some stores do charge different prices depending on where you're living. So you do have to take into consideration that all these prices I'm telling you are not necessarily going to be the same. But Hobby Lobby, $4.99 for the I Love This yarn. And this is again a medium weight 4, 5 ounces, 152 grams, 252 yards, or 230 meters. So this is very similar to the breakdown of the SmartCraft yarn, which kind of makes sense because SmartCraft is Michael's brand. I Love This is Hobby Lobby's brand. So it kind of makes sense that they're selling very similar size skeins. This though is about $1.50 more than the SmartCraft. But the reason why it's above the SmartCraft, in my opinion, is first off, the quality of their yarn is one of the best that we're going to talk about in this video, which sometimes can be a problem for acrylic yarns. They are not as soft as maybe your cotton or something like that. So a lot of people don't even like to use acrylic because of that. But if you're one of those people, I do think I Love This yarn is a good alternative for cotton yarns and things because it is really soft compared to a lot of the other acrylic yarns. But I do think it's a little pricey, but my 2 main things that make this above some of the others is the softness and the color options. When you go to Hobby Lobby, there's a whole like aisle and a half, 2 aisles, at least at most Hobby Lobbies I've been to, of options for just this yarn. This one is crushed raspberry, so it's white with pink and gray speckles. There's plain colors, there's all types of variegated colors, so much to choose in the I love this yarn. And I do think it's definitely got the most options out of any of these yarns as far as color swatches. So it does rank kind of high for that, but just because of the price, it's a little bit lower on my list. Alright, next, y'all, is one that you've seen me use quite a bit recently, and that is the Lion Brand Pound of Love. So this is a pound of yarn, hence the name Pound of Love. These are considered 100% premium acrylic. So again, these are 16 ounces, 454 grams, 1,020 yards, or 932 meters. So far, this is the most yarn you are getting out of any of these skeins, and this is about $7.99 on Amazon. I have gotten my skeins on Black Friday for $6.99 for Joann's. They normally retail for about $10.99 at Joann's, I believe. Maybe $9.99, something like that. But the cheapest price I could find right now was $7.99 on Amazon. But of course, depending on the time of year and everything, you gotta check the prices. But for the price, for the size of this skein, for the color options that they do have for the Pound of Love, I think it's really good. It is a little scratchy to me. Out of all of these, I would say this is the most similar to like a wool texture, which I know a lot of people are not a fan of. So you may not love this yarn, but don't get me wrong, it's not like even really that close to a wool. I'm just comparing it to a wool compared to like how soft some of these other acrylic yarns are. You are getting quite a good deal on this, I think, for as much yarn as you're getting in one skein. It just may not be practical for like smaller projects, but I do think it is good for like blankets and stuff, and y'all know I'm using it for my temperature blanket this year. So I do like this option, and that's why it is my number 6. Okay, next one, y'all, we have is the Big Twist Value Yarn. So Big Twist is Joann's brand of yarn, and this color is lilac specifically. It is 380 yards, 8 ounces, 347 meters, or 170 grams. Again, a medium weight 4. I think I also forgot to mention the Pound of Love is a medium weight 4. In my opinion, the Pound of Love is a little bit thinner, almost to a 3 weight, I would say, especially compared to the medium weight 4 that like this is and some of the other ones are. I feel like this one is closer to a 3, but anyway, it's listed as a 4, so it's a 4. But I think the Big Twist Value has a lot of different options. Again, they have a lot of variegated ones. There's Big Twist Tweed, there's Big Twist Chunky, like all kinds of different versions of Big Twist, and there is a lot of color options. Now, it's not higher up on my list because at Joann's it is a little bit harder to get to. There's not as many Joann's in places, which isn't Joann's fault, but you know, for me personally, it's not as easy to get to, and that's the same with a lot of these yarns as well. The yarns that are up higher on my list are sold more at Walmart and pretty much almost everywhere, so it makes them a lot more accessible. But I do love Big Twist yarns, and I think their color options are great. Their yarn is pretty soft, a little bit softer than some of the other ones, which the Big Twist is $3.99 normally, but they do a lot of sales where these are $1.99. As of filming this video, these are only $1.99. During Black Friday, they're $1.99. So there's a lot of sales for Big Twist as well, which is another reason why it's ranked pretty high on my list. So this is number 5. Let's move on to number 4. Now my number 4, 3, and number 2 spots were really hard for me to decide on. I've always known my number 1. But number 2, 3, and 4 were pretty hard. They're really pretty similar. And yeah. Anyways, I'm just going to get to telling you what they are. So number 4 for me is the Caron Simply Soft. So Caron Simply Soft is 16 ounces, 170.1 grams, 315 yards, or 288 meters. And again, a medium weight 4. I think all of these are considered a medium weight 4. Some of them being thinner than others, like I explained. The Pound of Love, I feel, is almost towards a 3. And the rest of these being more towards a 4. But anyway, the Caron Simply Soft on Amazon I found for $2.99. But I know at like Joann's and other places without a sale, it can be upwards of like $4.99. So like I said, Amazon was the cheapest, and a lot of times you can find this on sales as well. But for me, Simply Soft is quite literally Simply Soft. So I do love that this acrylic is so soft. I have used this for a blanket in the past, and I absolutely love the texture of that blanket because of how soft this acrylic yarn is. Like, this is so soft for an acrylic, and that's why it's titled Simply Soft. And I do like the color options that come in it. Now, there are not as many color options as a lot of these that we've talked about, but I do like the options that they do have, and I do think it's great for a lot of projects that you want to be really soft. So this is my number 4. All right, my number 3 is again a Caron. This is the Caron 1 pound. So again, 1 pound, 16 ounces, 453.6 grams, 812 yards, 742 meters. Your Caron 1 pound is often compared to your Lion brand Pound of Love because they're both 1 pound of yarn. And as far as your yardage and stuff, you are getting more with the Pound of Love than you are with the Caron 1 pound. So again, Caron 1 pound is 812 yards, and this is 1020 yards. So you're getting about 200 more yards of yarn with this, but the reason this is higher on my list is, first off, sold a lot more places. I've seen this at my Walmart before. So automatically kind of makes it higher for me just because I love things that are easily accessible. Also, from what I have seen, there is a lot more color options for the Caron 1 pound, and personally for me, I feel like it's softer. Not too much of a difference, but I do feel like it's softer, and it's a little bit thicker than your Pound of Love because, again, even though they're both listed as a medium 4 weight, I do almost feel like this is teetering on the edge of 3 and this is a true 4. So I personally prefer this one. And again, your Caron 1 pound on Amazon is going to be $7.99. So the same exact price as the Lion brand Pound of Love on Amazon. So really, it's just up to your personal preference. There's, at least from the Amazon listings I found, there's no difference in price. So whatever floats your boat. Alright y'all, we're getting there. I apologize if my voice is starting to sound weird or anything else is off. This is like the second video I filmed in a row, and I have been talking for like 30 minutes straight in each of those videos. So anyways, just wanted to bring that up. But now we're gonna get on to the number 2 spot, which we're so close to number 1. So the next 2 probably are not surprising to y'all, to be honest with you. So my number 2 spot is Mainstay is 100% acrylic. Yes, this is a newer yarn compared to all of these. I believe this is probably the newest one on the market. And if you're not familiar, Mainstays is Walmart's brand, so they do have their own brand of yarn now. So other than your Premier, this is going to be the cheapest. But in hindsight, this is cheaper than this because of the amount you're getting per skein. I did a whole video comparing Dollar Tree versus Walmart yarns if y'all want to see that, but that's when I figured out that you're actually not getting as much in this skein as you think you are. So anyway, Dollar Tree's down there. We're not going to talk about Dollar Tree no more. I love my Mainstays because this is what you are getting the most bang for your buck for. Out of all of these, I can almost guarantee you, unless the other stuff is on sale, this is what you're getting the most bang for your buck for. Is there as many color options as my #1 spot? No. And that's the main reason why this is #2 and not #1. But Walmart is easily accessible for most people. They do have some pretty solid color options. They have your regular blue, purple, white, black, gray, red, all of your basic colors. And they even have started coming out with a few like variegated colors. But the price is the cheapest out of all of them per skein. So it is $2.98 per skein. And it is 397 yards, 383 meters, 7 ounces, 198.4 grams. Again, medium 4 weight. Doing that math, you're getting the most bang for your buck out of any of these yarns. I mean, honestly, on most deals, you cannot beat Walmart. So, this is my #2 spot for all the reasons I listed. For #1, y'all, if you've watched my channel, literally probably ever, you could guess this. But it is my Red Heart Super Savers. And I feel like a lot of people disagree with me on this. So, a lot of people, at least from what I've heard, a lot of people think Red Heart Super Savers should be pretty far down this list. The main downfall I feel in Red Heart Super Savers is the quality. It's not even as soft as your Mainstays, definitely not as soft as something like your Simply Soft or your Big Twist. But the thing that gets me about Red Heart Super Savers is all the different color options. They're at almost every store that sells yarn. They're at Walmart, they're at Joann's, they're at Michael's. The only one that really doesn't have Red Heart Super Savers is Hobby Lobby. But they do have Red Heart. So, I mean, Red Heart is everywhere, to be honest with you. And they just have so many different color options in Super Savers. And I personally don't love mixing yarns for the same project. So let's say I'm making like a little crochet stuffed animal. If I need like a bunch of different colors for this stuffed animal, I don't love mixing like Big Twist with Red Heart with I love this. Like, I don't love mixing them. It's really just a personal preference thing. I don't care if other people do it, you know. But for that reason, I love my Red Heart Super Savers for the amount of color options and the easy accessibility, and the price is still pretty good. So I have seen these for like $2.99 on Amazon sometimes, but most of the time they're around $3.99 at like Joann's, and normally like somewhere in between those two prices at Walmart. So again, just because of the color options, the still pretty cheap price, and the easy accessibility, this is my baby. I can go to the Walmart that's up the street and get almost any color of this whenever I want to. So I love it for that reason. And this has honestly been my #1 since day one of crocheting. This is the yarn I learned to crochet on. This is the yarn my grandma passed down to me. Like, all of that. So this bad boy is my number 1. I just got way too excited talking about all of this yarn, y'all. Oh, I'm such a nerd, but I'm sure most of you are yarn nerds as well if you're watching this video. But thank you so much for watching, you guys. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do give it a big thumbs up. I will be linking all of the yarns I showed you guys in this video in the description box down below. So if I happen to not say a color name, which I think I forgot on a lot of them, or you just want to check what price they are for you, anything like that, I will be linking them all in the description box below. I really want to know what you guys thought of my list, if you would have changed the order of some of these. Obviously, this video was just for fun. There's no right or wrong answer. All of this is up to personal preference. So I just want to know what y'all thought, if you agree with my order of all of these, if you would change up the order, if you've tried all these yarns, all of that stuff. I would love to know in the comments down below. If y'all do want to see more videos from me, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below and turn on the post notification bell. That way you know every single time I upload a brand new video. And if y'all do want to see more from me, you can check out more videos of mine, my blog, my Etsy shop, my podcast, all of my social medias, and my vlog channel. All of that is always included down below for you guys. And with all of that, thank you all so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys on Mondays and Fridays on this channel, as well as on Wednesdays on my vlog channel. Goodbye!